Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Mark. I think this might be the first one ever where I'm wearing contacts, not my glasses. So, yes, it is still me. It is still Marc Tyrrell. Sorry if I don't look different and you didn't recognize me. So this week's going to be a solo episode. Hoping that I'll have a guest episode, either Matty Ice and Tony, or one of Matty Ice's friends who came onto the podcast. That'll be out next Friday. Didn't have the chance to edit it this week because just still recovering from work, but that shouldn't be a problem soon because of some updates I'll be sharing in this episode. So in the last solo episode I was teasing with the idea of moving back to Boston, how I was considering moving back because my dog is getting older and my parents are getting older. And no, if I came out here to go after my dreams of starting a production company, and that's the only thing I can use to justify me missing time from them. And I thought about it, talked with them, talked with friends of mine, and did the calculations, and realized LA's where I'm supposed to be. I'm just not, I'm the most happy here than I've been at least since I was a kid. And I know it wouldn't be a net positive for me and my family if I came back east permanently. I'd always be thinking about if I really went for it, if I put all my chips on black, if I really just, if I continued on the path I'm currently on, decided I'm going to stay here. But then the next question was, what I do in terms of work? And I've decided I'm going to take a big risk. I mentioned Operation Full Send about liquidating my retirement funds that I'm not supposed to touch until I'm like 65 or something, and live off that. And I've decided I'm going to do that. I've also got a new credit card. Luckily, that's at 0% interest for over a year. And a good credit score, especially for my age. And still have some extra stocks and stuff. So I put in my 2 weeks at my current job a week ago. So I have my last day of work's going to be this upcoming Tuesday on June 2nd. And after that, I'm doing this full time. I'm going to be treating it just like a full-time job, even more than a full-time job, hopefully. Just work like a dog until my money runs out and I can say that I've did my best. With my current finances, with my current war chest, I should be able to last a year and a half, more likely. That's if totally worst case scenario, if I'm not bringing money in. So, yep, that's the plan. It's really happening. I've been dealing with, the last few months since starting my job, like end of March, early April, I was dealing with a lot of angst and, just dissatisfaction about what the fuck I'm doing with my life. I liked the job. Wasn't that, it was like taking a cheese grater to my head, like some jobs, or if it was like a ultra toxic environment or anything. I enjoy getting paid to drive people around, have conversations, listen to podcasts, and just see the sights of LA. Shockingly, me doing this podcast shows that I have an interest in podcasts. I like listening to other people's podcasts. And I like talking to people. But I'm just sick of delaying. I'm sick of delaying this dream that I've thought about and talked about since I was a kid, since literally seventh or eighth grade. Wanting to start some type of media company, you know, a la Rooster Teeth. I'm sick. I'm 30 years old. I'm sick of putting it off. I'm single. I've got relatively good financial standing. Uh, Low student loans. Um, you know, Still young enough to have the energy to it's required to get a business off the ground, but old enough to have some bit more wisdom than the person I was in my earlier 20s. Like this I feel like this is the last opportune chance I've got if I don't take it now. Um so that's the big update on that front. Yeah, even with all the anxiety of being unsure what's going to happen next, and if this is really going to succeed, been feeling a lot less angsty, a lot less sleepless nights, wondering what I should be doing and if I'm doing enough. I see that light at the end of the tunnel, but it's just going to get interesting after next Tuesday because I need to put my money where my mouth is. I tried this experiment when I first started this podcast when I got laid off last year, and yeah, I got some stuff done, but I wasn't really putting in the work I that was needed. And I'm glad I had this job because it showed me how much work just goes into doing, you know, just being able to hold down you know a regular job that isn't a cushy work from home remote yuppie job that I had before. Um, Maybe not exactly yuppie, but you get the point. I've got to put in that same energy, even more energy into, um, making content. Maybe buying some soundproofing my apartment a bit better and my sound setup. I hope I have a studio at some point. Oh, man. Anyway, so plans for next week. So we're going to keep with the weekly show at noon every Friday. I do want to get up to 3 shows a week. That's the end goal, if not more. Um, we'll see what the release dates are going to be for those. But 2 habits that I'm definitely going to be putting into my weekly schedule is streaming. I'm going to do morning streams. Um, every around when I usually would start my day. So probably going to be 10 o'clock, at least weekdays, if not also on at least one of the weekend days. That's going to be on this YouTube channel, and it's going to be we're an experiment. I'm thinking I've already did some test streams or a test stream with live editing of photos. Um, that's an idea I've had. I thought maybe it'd be cool to use that as something to talk over and show people my creative process as well. And like I said, talk over similar to how some people commentate over video games while streaming. Develop more of my photography audience and get more of my photos edited and done. I can kill 2 birds with one stone. But the biggest reason why I want to start streaming is so that way I have a regular cadence way to start my workday every morning. I'm a night owl by nature. I will stay up until the sun comes out again if nothing's stopping me. So, hoping, and one of the great things about this job is that it's put my circadian rhythm of that of a semi normal person. So, I'm going to start doing streams to primarily, or at least firstly, to help me keep onto that schedule. Maybe do that for an hour or two a day, and then move on to editing podcasts. Maybe go for a run, go back to editing photos on my own time, maybe. But we can try it out. Maybe we'll do gameplays. Maybe we'll just do commentary on news stuff or joke writing sessions. I don't know. If you have any ideas, feel free to put them in the comments or DM me. That'll be coming out soon. um I'll let you guys know when the exact launch date for that is. What else? Oh, the other thing is that I'm going to start regularly putting open mics again into my schedule. I haven't been on stage in a minute, and I'm starting to feel rusty around my stand up. So I've been taking note of local open mics that I can be going to, so I can save gas. I don't have to go too far away, and incorporate those onto my weekly schedule. So if you're in the LA area and want to meet me and see me live, I will might make that public, or you can meet me there. Maybe I'll just put those privately, but yeah, I'm gonna be. The plan moving forward is do the stream in the morning, spend the day editing other forms of content, short form content, photos, and go out at night to do comedy or networking events, and sink or swim. I gotta just hustle my ass off. Um, yeah, I wasn't planning on recording this today, and I'll see if you know, I feel like men have periods. It's just a different form. For women, it's like their body's telling them to hurry up, you're behind in life. Men have that with their brains. Hurry up, you're behind in life. Only instead of like having kids and a family. Well, it is that, but it's also you're not far enough in your career. You're not far enough in where you are with women. Like, you're just not enough. I've just been dealing with that today, and yeah, I've just been putting off recording this, hoping to get more vulnerable with you guys. I've tried to be a little bit talking about the 12-step stuff, but that's something I'm very open about. Um, yeah, one of the cool things about the podcasting medium is that it lets down your guards. You'll these conversations, especially in audio podcasts, it doesn't have the same type of production process as other forms of media do, like vlogging, um, or um, you know, primetime TV. This podcasting is great because you can get a lot more into intimate details. One of my Achilles heels as an artist is being scared to share those parts of me, and that's a big problem because the whole point of being an artist is you know using those parts of you to create things. um so yeah, I'm probably not going to go into too many details on why today's been rough. But if I'm really going to go after this stream, I can't let days like this keep me from doing things. That's why I'm still recording this episode. And actually, I'm feeling pretty good now that I'm doing it. I feel like compared to even when I first started this, it feels a lot more natural being on camera, talking into a mic when no one else is around. But still gonna keep this a little shorter, or as short as possible today. I just want to get this edited out. Usually when I have usually, like I said, I'm a night owl, so spend a lot of all-nighters or late at night getting a podcast out. And I just don't have the energy for that right now. Um, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up here and get this quickly edited and scheduled to release for tomorrow. Get the thumbnail ready and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's the big news is that Operation Full Send is in full effect. Starting next Tuesday, June 2nd, I will be out of a job and back into the Wild West of trying to survive on my own terms as an entrepreneur and a creator and artist. And yeah, I hope you guys will listen or will listen in the future. Um, Hope you join me on this journey and hope I don't let you guys down or myself down. Um, so yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. See you next week for the next episode of Off the Mark in this brand new era. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Off the Mark. Please follow me on all my socials on Instagram, TikTok. The handle for my TikTok is Marc Tyrrell Comedy, all one word, MarcTyrrell Comedy. And I have 2 Instagram accounts. One is my main, that's just Marc.Tyrrell, and the other one is my comedy account, which is same as my TikTok. Be sure to like and subscribe, share it with your friends. That stuff helps like you wouldn't believe. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.